Well, hello, C&H Roadside Services. My name is Matt Johnson. I'm here in Virginia Beach, just not too far from you, actually. I'm on the other side of the highway, just right across from Mount Trashmore. Anyways, C&H, I believe that stands for Charles Hughes, if I'm not mistaken. This is you on Alignable here, and I saw that you had filled out a request to have me audit your website and do a quick report to see why it might be losing traction in Google, and I found out a lot of stuff, and I wanted to share some of that with you. So I'm gonna assume that I'm speaking to you, Charles. If not, I apologize, but it just kind of makes sense. You should have already received an email with something that looks like this. It's a PDF that you should have gotten. And let me just explain real quick what this part here does. Zoom out a little bit. So what this does here is this gives us a very quick overview of all the metrics that I look at on a website to determine how well it's doing online. And you got an 11.6, which is really, really low. And I'm not surprised, because there's a lot of things that are going on in your internet marketing, and I'll cover some of those and give you some tips on what you can do to fix those. And simple stuff too. Okay, so let me just go through the top part here. Overall, the on-page optimization, you got a 6 out of 30, which is pretty low, and I'll cover why that was low. Your mobile friendly is a 4 out of 5. Now, you gave me the website address you gave me as your Google GMB. Google My Business, that free website that you can make. So, you know, those can be really good, but you have to update them often. You're not ranking for any of the phrases that you told me that were important. You know, there's nothing going on. And honestly, at first, when I saw this, I said, oh, this company's either brand spanking new or he's just never done anything. And that's okay. I mean, this is where we start out. So I'm not gonna go over too much about the on-page stuff, because that's your website. You know, you got the map, that's good. Several of the same images, what it looks like. So the one update, which by the way was back in 2 years ago, and that's it. That's all that Google has to look at, is just basically this part right here to know what your business is about. So anyways, like all this other stuff here, like these are all the on page on your website, underneath the hood of the actual website, what's going on. And because there's so little here, I'm just going to skip over that entire section. It doesn't make sense to go over that and talk about these things that you don't have if, you know, the website's barely even, half a page basically. All right. So these are some of the things that are covered on the home page, like your title page or your page title, which when you look in Google and if you Google something, the title of the page appear. This is also the same part that shows up in Google when you do a search. So that's good. And you got some of the other basic SEO, search engine optimization things that you should have. And of course, as I said, the word count is super low, which this is saying that you should have, or you only have 173 words on the entire page. And that's not just low, that's like extremely, extremely low. You'd want to shoot for about over 300 words at absolute minimum per any page that you have. Site load time is super fast, under half a second, obviously, because there's nothing to, to slow it down. But that's actually a factor that Google looks at, is how fast the page loads. Google index pages. Well, when you have a website, the index is how many pages are actually inside of Google, like how many pages Google knows about. So if we type in the word site, S-I-T-E, and do a colon. All right. So if we do site, we hit enter, you see only one of them comes up, one result. That's because you only have one page in Google. Now, let me show you an example over here. Here is one of your competitors that you had listed as one of your competitors, and his name is First Landing Auto Care. So we'll put him in there. So we got First Landing Auto, and I'm going to do the site command again, which again is going to show me how many web pages Google knows about for this website. I hit enter, and he has 205. So there's a lot more meat for Google to grab onto and to figure out what these guys are about. And so he obviously has a lot better rankings than you do, just simply for the fact that he's there so many more times, There's 205 pages, you know, of content, of text and stuff. I'll just click on one of them. That's a lot of good content for Google to pick up on for keywords and stuff when people are searching. Let me back out of that a little bit. Actually, I'll just close that page. We don't need it. Okay, so I'm not going to beat up on these too much because I have a feeling the site is still sort of in work. Again, you only had one page, so that's why it didn't even show up on that part here. Yes, it is mobile friendly. So when you book on your phone, that's what it looks like. And these Google My Business pages, they're great for, you know, for a simple short website when you got nothing else in place. And I wanted to talk to you about your website actually. Let's jump over to all right. So here's a couple things here. Like when I typed in actually, wait a minute, not road safety town. That's actually the category. Your category for your business is road safety town. Take a pen and paper and note this. That's actually wrong. Road safety town does not mean what you think it means. It's actually a children's safety training education. And that's why when you type in road safety town, only your business shows up. None of your competitors show up because it's not right. It should be like automotive repair, or actually I'll show you what you might want to put in there. This is the 2019 list of Google My Business categories. Okay. And in here, road safety, I just did a search for road safety and road safety town comes up. But if we did like auto, now Google, there's over 3,000 categories altogether, and you can have up to 10 categories that you can choose, and as long as one of them is your primary. So these don't fit for you here. Let's see what else we find here. Auto repair shop, that's probably the best one for you right there. You know, even though you're technically not repairing cars, that still might be the best one because that's where most of your competitors are under. So I wanted to point one other thing out here. I'm sorry, I know I have a lot of tabs. I keep flipping. I'm sorry about that. Okay, that's first landing. You can close them out. Oh, I know what I did. I did roadside assistance in Google. Okay, and I apologize that, you know, because I'm just doing this on the fly. So you have to kind of bear with me a little bit. Roadside assistance, Virginia Beach. So when I type that one in, these here are all your competitors. You see they have towing services. Let's choose the more. Towing service, car service, towing, more towing service, auto insurance. I don't know why AAA has all auto insurance. That struck me as a little weird. But most of these are like towing service. And not all of them are like, here's roadside assistance and he's under towing service. But he's on page 1 for that. Now you are actually not on the first page. They are right there. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is spot 30. So the second page, almost in the middle of the second page, is where you are there. Show you something else here. Like I want to show you something here. On your Facebook page, which actually does rank. There we go. See, your Facebook page does show up, and I can see you've done some other work, like with the BBB. So you've done a little bit of work in the past. I can see, you know, you're not a complete doofus when it comes to trying to get your business out there. You've actually done something. I'm just playing. But I want to show you something here. When I go to your Facebook page, okay, and then I scroll down, people are going to want to check out your website. Okay, so I'll click on your about page. That's how you find the website. Or not in this case, I guess. Call me a liar. Call me a liar. First thing is you haven't posted in a really long time. Like that was the last post you did. So like I wasn't even sure if you were like really even in active business or not. I'm assuming that's you. Right there, Charles, maybe. Here's what I was looking for. chservices.net. Now I know that's your website. I know it's good till 2020, like the middle of 2020 sometime. And I think it's a Wix page. But when you click on it, right now, because that page isn't published, it just comes up and eventually it'll time out. So if you got something going on Wix, I would encourage you strongly to get that out. Go to your Wix and get that website live as quickly as possible, because ch-services.net, you have other web pages that are out here that have that website on there. Now let's just look here. Let's look. I don't even. Oh, that's your Google one. Let's look at Manta, see if they have your website. Do they have your website down there? Okay, no, here I didn't even see these ones coming soon. I got coming soon. So that's what people find, and that's not professional. You don't. Now that's 3 websites now that I found for you. So you're kind of all over the place on this stuff. So what I would suggest to you is to go into Google My Business and change your road safety town. Take that off and change it to like towing service or something like that, or even mobile mechanic or something like that. You'll get much better rankings that way. And then if you have that other website that we saw in Facebook, I would either publish that Wix page. I'm assuming it's Wix. I saw that somewhere. Or go to your domain, where you got your domain from GoDaddy, and have this website point over to this website, to your Google business website, right up here. See that? So that way, when someone is looking at your someone clicks on here, if someone clicks on this one, it'll automatically take them here. And that's called a 301 redirect. Okay? I know there's a lot of stuff here, but like I said, you're kind of all over the place. It's really hard to sort of follow with you here on this stuff. Let's just go down. We'll just finish the rest of this. The speed was fast. It tells you a little bit about why that speed is good, and just simply because Google says so. You'd only really given me a couple of phrases, but anyways, you're not ranking for any of those right now. And we saw you're actually on page 2, like the 30th one down for roadside assistance. Matter of fact, even if we do like emergency, you gotta see that one sign, that one timed out. Let's do a search for emergency roadside assistance near me. Okay, that's a good one. And we've seen these guys a couple times already. If you notice this first one here, these first 2 are ads. So these guys here are paid for those spots. Yeah, I'm not even seeing you on this. I don't think we passed you yet. All right, so I don't have to keep rubbing this one in. We know that you're not showing up for these phrases. But look at everyone here is for those types of, for what we're looking for. They're auto wrecker, towing services, truck repair was one of them, towing services. Let's see what the ones on the first page that were. Okay, trucking service, towing, tire shop, towing service. I bet if you were to put in your category or one of your categories as towing services, you'd have a better chance of showing up. Again, the safety town, that's just flat out the wrong category. So you're not even playing in the same neighborhood as your competitors, and that's not helping your wallet at all. All right, the site is secure, which I would sure hope it would be, being that it's straight from Google. This stuff here we're not going to talk about too much. What these metrics here tell me, off-page optimization refers to how many times your business or your website is talked about outside of your own website. So like, if I was AAA and I listed you as, one of my supporting people or whatever, and we put a link to your website, well, then you would show up in one of these. Actually, you would show up here in the link section. I mean, it's because there's nothing going on the website. You've never had any backlinks really pointing to your website, to this website. Now, you have it pointing to that one on Facebook that we talked about. I bet you anything, if we did a checkup on this CH-services, those numbers would be a lot different. These numbers would be a lot different. There might be 20, 30, or 40 links or whatever. But technically speaking, this Google My Business listing has nothing going on. So again, which is why you're losing traction in Google. Yeah, category is auto care. That's a good category to be in. I think that list that I showed you, that was in there as well. All right, now this is your visibility score. This talks about your company as far as local goes. And locally speaking, which is the Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads area, everyone else is at about a 95% for the industry average for this area, and you're at 7.14. Crazy low. Looking at these numbers, if I didn't know you and didn't do a little digging on you, I'd think you weren't even a real company. And I know I'm not saying that to hurt your feelings. I'm just saying that, I mean, that's what speaks to yourself. Like you're invisible compared to your competition. Okay. And you have no reviews. The industry average, they have 7 reviews. Let me show you what we're talking about on there. He has reviews. He has 6 reviews. This guy's 104. That's a lot. That's partly why he's up here so high on this list. So let's open this up here. Steve's Towing was the 3rd one. He has 39. This guy has 1. And this guy has 69. So you might ask yourself, wait a minute, Matt. Why does a guy with only 1, why does he have so much more? And that's because, I don't want to get too deep, but there are about 500 directory sites. And a directory site is, think about the Yellow Pages, for instance. And if you were in, and there's more than one book of Yellow Pages, right? There's like the green pages, the business pages, the Yelp pages, the Google pages, the Facebook pages, etc. You know, just imagine, if you would, there's all these Yellow Page books, and there's like 500 different book directories that you could potentially be in. Well, this guy here, he only has 1 review, and he's probably in a whole bunch of directories, which is why he's, you know, number 4 on the list. Could you imagine if this guy here was to, you know, get some more reviews? He could probably shoot up really fast, because these guys here, that tells me that this guy here, even though he's got a lot of reviews, he's not putting time in his business to get his name out in those directories. And every one of those directories is like a vote of confidence. And Google looks at those and says, wow, geez, you know what? There's a lot of places out here. And
I found this on Google.
That's funny. Google heard me say the name and it picked up on my phone. Shh, quiet. So Google looks at each one of those directories and the links and talking about your business. Those are called citations. Anytime your business is mentioned, whether it's your name, your address, your phone number, or whatever, it looks at that as a vote of confidence, basically, and pushes them up higher, which is why we're seeing this guy here with only 1 review up here. This guy here with 6, practically at the top. He is at the top. These 2 here are paying to be here. This guy here is there for free, basically, because he's not paying the ad space to be up there, which you can do this too. This is very easy to do. You can bypass all the time it takes to get up here. But your business has no reviews, 0. And again, I'm going to try and find you on here if I can. Give me just a second. They are right there. Yeah, so you got no reviews. So let me ask you a question. Even if you were to show up higher, if you were looking for some help, would you pick the guy that had, you know, 118 reviews or 31 reviews, or would you pick the guy that had no reviews, that no one else has used before, that no one else has given their vote of trust? Right, you wouldn't. So that's why that's really important to get. When you do a job for someone, it's really, really important that you try and get a review from them. And, you know, we can talk about that at a later time if that's something that ever interests you. I can help you with that. Competitor metrics, again, it's kind of silly to even talk about because you got nothing going on that site, on that Google My Business listing page. So, but this does tell us a little bit of information, okay? So you can see the light blue one here. This is called Domain Authority, and this is for First Landing Auto. Of course, that's them again, and then the VA Beach Auto. I don't know why it put those in twice. You know, this is pretty average. These numbers are pretty average for Domain Authority and Page Authority. You can Google what those mean. We don't really need to get into that for this particular discussion. But the one thing we can see is that this guy here, every link that he has internal, he's not letting the links go out of his website. This is called non-juice passing. And think of like a spaghetti strainer. The more holes in the strainer, the faster the water is going to drain out. I'll click on the get directions. That takes us away from your page. And now it brings us down to there. So that, think of that as being link juice. It would go from your page. If someone came in here, they want to get directions to your place, they click on that, and then they come here, and then we go to this page. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not bad that you've done this. It's actually good because it's pertinent to what people are trying to find and do on your website. You know, other companies will have a link to like, you know, Joe's Towing Company, and then here's the place where I bought my truck. And you click on the link and it takes you to that towing truck dealer or whatever, or the parts dealer that they go to. And now they've effectively passed and strained out of their website the power of the backlink, and they've sent it out away from them. So now that makes their juice power a lot less. Like this guy here is passing, I know he's passing a lot of stuff. So that's, and you can look at these. This sort of talks about what I just did, but this is a little more technical. We don't really need to cover that. Now on the listing that you provided, you didn't give me a, actually, no, I think I did find an Instagram for you, but I didn't find a Twitter for your business. Now, if it is there, I don't know. This here just talks about how many likes your page has and stuff like that. So let's find you here and see where. I'm just curious how many likes your page has. Is it like a couple hundred maybe for your Facebook page? 43. Well, that's not very high, but then again, I'm not surprised because it's been over a year since you've posted anything. I like that truck, by the way. That's nice. But you got a lot of pictures of just the truck stand there. If I can give you some suggestion, when you do images and stuff like that, make it an action image. Like maybe you're, you know, helping someone by the side of their car, and you got a picture of your car and their car with their hood up, or you servicing gas or whatever happens. You know, that would be cool. So people like action pictures, not just vehicles sitting there. Just some personal thought on that. And that is about it. Charles, I hope this was informative for you. I know it's a lot to take in, but I enjoyed going over this and kind of digging in and learning about your company. I'd love to hear more about what you do and see if, you know, there's maybe something that I can help you with affordably. Again, my name is Matt Johnson. I'm at 757-620-6819. So this is me right here. That's my website, webmatic247.com. There's my website up there. If you ever want to find me on Facebook, you can just go to webmatic247.com. This is what my page looks like. And that's me right there. That's my cat. This honestly is a better picture of me. I look a little rougher than that right at the moment, because it's almost 8 o'clock. Yeah, there I am down there. That's my wife and I. So anyways, I look forward to, I hope I get a chance to speak with you and maybe help. A lot of the stuff that you have to do doesn't have to break the bank. You don't need to be in like a $500 a month plan. You know, you can do, you know, little pieces here and there if that's what works. So, you know what? Feel free to call me, and I hope we get to talk soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.